All right. Hi, Jonathan. I'm Abby. I'm the president-elect of APHA.
And I'm Sana. I'm the president of APHA.
And we would just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us today. We can go ahead and jump right into the questions. So, our first question is, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jonathan, and I am currently a first year here at the University of Maryland. A little bit about myself. I have already had some prior experience with APHA, so I am currently a co-secretary uh, here at APHA. But aside from that, a little bit about me, I guess I love a lot of things that has to do with, you know, being time with friends, working out, just being with other people and being sociable. So just a little bit about me.
Awesome. The next question is, how familiar are you with the role of president-elect, and can you tell us a little bit about what they do?
Yeah. So I've had the pleasure to talk with both you, Abby and Sana, regarding this role. And just being able to see having prior experience already being in a leadership role within APHA, I've been thankful enough to have some type of leadership involved with just APHA, but also being able to see what you guys do behind the scenes and what the preparation and what needs to be done in order for things to work smoothly within this whole entire association. It is a lot to expect since there are a lot of things that have to come into play when it comes to either collaborating with multiple different um, leadership members that are on the team and just making sure a lot of the logistics work. So what I've seen so far from both of you guys is communication is the biggest thing. And I know that is very expected of me as I take on this role since I'm going to be I'm going to have to be able to take on this type of leadership when either conflicts arise or just being able to manage everything, just like either time management or making sure that I fit within the schedule of meetings and whatsoever, whether it comes to GBMs and doing daily check-ins and whatnot. So making sure that I'm able to learn from you guys since I have Abby, who's gone through that process and her also being president. And Sana, I know unfortunately you won't be in this role anymore, but I also have you.
Awesome. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of I guess, managing of a lot of different people because obviously we're such a big org. Um, so I will say with that, as things come up, obviously you have to deal with them. We do monthly check-ins with the VPs. I guess our main bullet line of things that we do is we plan EBMs and GBMs. Obviously, we do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then attending conferences and trying to get other people to attend conferences is a big thing that we do. So yeah. So kind of bouncing off of that, what was your favorite APHA event this year?
Oh, okay. So personally, I love the APHA, the social that was held in the very beginning of the semester. Coming in as a P1, I was kind of, blindsided by the amount of work that we had to do and just everything coming at us all at once. And being able to have a select day where I'm able to just uh, be friends and learn from everyone, introduce myself to everyone um, kind of early into the semester, I think was one of the most fun experiences for me, since I guess everyone kind of just gets to let loose and gets to know everyone, which was great. But another one that I unfortunately was not able to attend, but I really do want to go to is the APHA annual. So I unfortunately had to live vicariously through all the Instagram stories and stuff. But just seeing the other members as well as you guys just have a blast while also receiving a lot of different awards was really cool to me. So that is something that I also want to really do as well.
Awesome. Our next question for you is, what new ideas do you have for the next year?
Yes. So far, like I just had mentioned, I really loved a lot of the events that were already planned this year. So, and seeing some of the turnouts for the events as well, since a lot of people know APHA, I thought it was really great to have such a large turnout for a lot of these different things. So, if I am elected to be pres-elect, I would love to build off of some of the ideas that were already presented this year, and try to improve those, see if we can get more engagement, just within making small adjustments since it was already kind of a hit this year. But obviously, New Year already presents itself as such, different avenues that we can go, whether having new creative minds on the leadership board. Um, Things that I've t thought on top of my head. If there are things that I'm able to incorporate, maybe like a workshop, I think those are one of the more beneficial things where we're able to get hands-on learning. Just whether it be something small or something that we're able to incorporate more of a fun aspect of pharmacy and also have that engagement with more people. Hopefully that is able to entice people and bring some, you know, either members that are already existing or new members that are existing or not existing, and then bring those together and kind of incorporate more of the fun aspect while also being educational for us.
Great. So next is what is something you would like to see? I guess you kind of touched on this. What is something you would like to see APHA improve on, or an aspect of the org you would like to see change?
So when it comes to change, I think, again, of course, every new year presents new opportunities. So there can always be change and improving on what can be done. So I think both of you guys did a great job this year, being able to manage all the different orgs and all the different co-chairs that were bouncing around everywhere. Um, but the one thing that I did notice was that there was a lot of, let's say, like there wasn't as much engagement as I thought there would be with certain events when it came to those chair, um, like the smaller chair events, where some of the pictures that I saw, and there was one that I attended to. There was only maybe about like 5 people that were really able to actually come out. Whether that, unfortunately, timing as students, we still have to worry about that. But I'm not sure if we're able to do this, but just trying to push things towards the, I don't know if that would bring more engagement, but I think being able to have not a lot of events were kind of pushed, I felt like we're pushed towards the student that were on campus, um, out of convenience, obviously, but if we're able to incorporate students that are off campus, which is a pretty large majority of those students that are here at UMSOP, whether it be I don't know, maybe like a bake something when people do baking events, pushing it towards the weekends instead of maybe having it right after class for some people that do have to go home, or just simple things like that in order for us to continuously have that engagement. And then when it comes to those smaller events, that allows us to have hopefully more uh like nominations and awards when it comes to the APHA's annual, just having more engagement like that. And yeah, I think that's it. So far, I loved everything here, so not too much to say.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like engagement is definitely an issue that we struggle with every single year. So, like you mentioned, new year, new opportunities. So, I'm excited to see what could happen with APHA. Um, Kind of on that topic, the next question is how would you encourage students to not only become members, but to also remain active in their membership?
So when it comes to being or allowing, trying to get people to be active, I think starting early is the best decision for APHA. So when it comes to the social, making sure that everyone has a reason to come. So when, like, how we did it or this year, we allowed P1s to have free admission. And I think that was one of a really good idea because there was a large turnout for that as well. Um, but I think allowing, hmm, I do kind of want to try to bring in more engaging events. I think that allows people and members at UMSOP kind of continuously stay with APHA. I know a lot of it are some either when it comes to GBMs or some events, they're more lecture based. And as we know, lectures is all we do at school. So it kind of disengages people to not really want to come to those type of things. So trying my best to either have engagement or more of a fun aspect to even things that are deemed to be educational and not really worth our time, um, allows, I think, more people to stay as well as more people to sign up. Um, because I'm more of a hands-on person, so that would be obviously great for me as well. But when it comes to in school events or out of school events, like where we're not in the school, um, having something, maybe just like an incentive that is more fun, just engages people more. So incorporating things like that more into every single event, I think would help that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think um just yeah, bringing like an even just an aspect of an event, like a small portion of it to be fun and have people come, it makes them stay for like the rest of it. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. So our next question is, how would you handle a conflict that potentially arises within the e-board?
So obviously I know that there are a ton of people to look over when you either have this president-elect position or eventually a president position. So I think it is important that I start off building connections with the team prior as a president-elect, being able to collaborate with them early. So again, I'm very fortunate to have prior exposure to some of the members on the board now. So I think that is a great boost for me. But additionally, just making sure that I'm able to keep that good relationship with people that are on the board. So when there is a conflict that arises either between people in the board, or if they have any conflict with me or what I do, they're able to, have someone to go to as a safe space and be able to really talk about the conflicts instead of kind of just letting it build and eventually making things snowballing and making it for the worse. So yeah, trying to keep things obviously as cool-headed as possible. So that kind of just starts with building relationships with not only you, Abby, but also everyone that does contribute to the leadership of APHA, and then that hopefully would try to build a cohesive team.
Yeah, definitely agree with that one. And like you mentioned, APHA board is so big, so it's always good to be prepared for any potential conflicts that may arise. So the next question is, what do you hope to gain from this position?
What I hope to gain, I think, first off, is I think a little bit of a family kind of, because I will be working with a lot of individuals pretty close knit. Um, either I've heard from you guys that you guys have to constantly text each other very frequently. So, um, yeah, just having a sense of a little small knit group while going through pharmacy school, but also just expanding on my leadership role since it is something that I love to do. And when it comes to taking on a bigger task, which is something I'm a little bit more afraid of, but I think through having this position and continuously learning behind Abby and seeing what I've already learned and the prior experiences that I've had through my first year of pharmacy school, I think that I am able to kind of step out of my comfort zone and try to be a leader that not only, works as best as he can or as I can, and also making sure that I'm able to take either risks or bigger tasks that I may be afraid of and being able to work through that as well.
Yeah, I think this position is definitely like a big one. So I feel like it pushes you to do a lot, but I
Mhm.
think that at least speaking for myself, I think I've grown a lot in the past like 2 years that I've been involved in APHA, even coming into pharmacy school. So yeah, I definitely think that that is something you gain from this position. So what other organization commitments do you anticipate to have next year?
So currently, I am the USGA senator for my class. And for the upcoming year, I plan to try and have as much commitment as I can to only two positions, because I do know the responsibility that does come with this position. It is very high paced and it does require a lot of my time. So making sure that I'm not overwhelming myself with as many leaderships as I can possible, since in the end I am still a student and what how I perform at school matters the most. So I do only want to kind of cap hold myself to two positions at max. So these would be the only two that I've been looking towards.
Great. So those all are all the questions we had for you today. What questions do you have for us?
I guess I got a lot answered already. I think honestly, I think that's all the questions I already had for you guys, but yeah, I think that should be it.
Okay, well, then perfect. You know where to reach us if you think of any questions or anything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for interviewing with us today.
Thank you guys.